If this game isn't a cornucopia of awesome Atari 2600 sound effects, I don't know what is. This is Tunnel Runner. And this game is like a first-person shooter, a decade before we were playing Castle Wolfenstein and Doom. This is essentially a first-person game on the Atari 2600 that's done well and is incredibly fun to play. The storyline behind Tunnel Runner is thin. In fact, they don't give you much of one at all. It says, "Get a move on, Tunnel Runner. Those monstrous maze zots have picked up your scent, and there's only one item on their menu. You. You've been running up and down tunnels like a rat for so long you're starting to develop a taste for cheese." The thing is, I already have developed a taste for cheese. Double Gloucester, Provolone, Swiss, Munster, Cheese Whiz, they're all good. The object of Tunnel Runner is to successfully escape from an endless series of colorful, complex, three-dimensional mazes called runs. To do this, you must find the key hidden in each run. While in a run, points are scored for every new room you enter. Bonus points are awarded based on how long it takes you to escape from each run. Now, looking at this game, it's quite amazing that this is on the Atari 2600 because these look like hallways, it looks like you're moving through them, and the bad guys, the zots as they're called, are actually out there in the hallways, hanging out looking for you. You can take a turn in front of them, loop around, and come back, and they're still there. So this doesn't even have disappearing enemies like those side-scrollers did in the mid to late 1980s. Or if you go off the screen in Ninja Gaiden and come back on, the bad guys are still there even if you've killed them once before. Now you can't kill the zots. Unfortunately, this is not a first-person shooter. You don't have a plasma auto rifle, a needler, flamethrower, hand grenades, or anything else cool like that. You have to rely on your nimble tunnel running abilities. So this is like a three-dimensional version of Pac-Man in a way, and that's sort of what they're poking fun at here in the manual. Let's continue reading. In Tunnel Runner, you, not a dot on the screen, are actually in the game, surrounded by walls as far as the eye can see. The built-in RAM Plus, trademark, power chip makes this unique first-person perspective possible. It may take a few games before you get used to this tunnel vision. And that's true, it does take a few games to get used to, but man, it's a tremendous Atari game. So pick this one up if you happen to stumble across it. It's a bit rudimentary, but once you figure it all out, you really appreciate what an amazing job the programmers did in this game. As you're running through the tunnels, you come upon parts where the floor is blinking, and that means that there's a door nearby. So it stops you automatically. You can look left or right. Each door has different arrows that point in or up, down, depending on if they're going to send you to the next run, back a run, or transport you randomly throughout the maze. The object of the game, as the manual says, is to find a key hidden somewhere on the map. And I just got eaten by one of the zots, which have sharp, carnivorous teeth. In the earlier mazes, the key is located on the map. When you hold down the button, you can pull the map up, and then it'll show you where the key is. You can try to find your way there. In the later maps, you have to start figuring things out for yourself. When you get the key, the little arrow on the bottom left of the screen starts blinking, and then you can actually find the escape door, which is the door with the single arrow pointing up. And that was the transporter door with two arrows pointing inwards that randomly transports you somewhere within the maze. And it packs a wicked buzz. As the game progresses, it picks up speed, and the zots, the cool-looking enemies that are chasing you, get faster and smarter. Not only is it amazing that the designers got the whole first-person perspective correct in this game, and a three-dimensional feeling with the bad guys that are actually there on the board with you. in using the sound and the way that they've done it, with that music that plays when the zots are near you, it gives you a whole three-dimensional real-world feeling, unlike any other Atari 2600 game that I've ever played. Now, with this non-existent plot in Tunnel Runner, you can just apply your own plot to the game, and since you're completing runs, why not complete the ultimate run of all? That would be Logan's Run. You're innocently hanging out in your living room, drinking a beer, playing Atari 2600, when all of a sudden you look down and the red gem in your hand is blinking. You've just turned 30 years old. You know as well as I do, that means that the Sandmen are going to come and take you and put you on carousel to be destroyed. That gives a whole purpose to this game. You're running through the tunnels to find Sanctuary. But this game's a little more vague on where it is you're actually running to. Maybe what it's saying is that we're all running in a maze that we can never get out of, no matter how hard we try, or no matter how fast we run. In which case, that means that each of us is actually already on carousel. You may as well get it over quickly by being eaten by a zot, or two in this case, as I really got f***ed in the end of the game.